What's going on? My name is Vince Wolfram, and welcome to Big Talk, the show where we take small talk to the next level across the worlds of sports, lifestyle, and everything else under the sun. Another day, another episode. It's actually just me today. Dylan unfortunately had something come up at the very last second, so he will be unable to join us, but when life happens, he's dealing with it. So no need to worry. And we're still going to have a blast on this episode because the grass is still green, very green. In fact, our guest today has been living on the greens, and he has been catching fire for about the last month. From the East Coast to the West, his team now is among the very, very best. The Kentucky Amateur Champion, a high school state champion, the newest 2024 NCAA Men's Golf National Champion, and he's also the mayor of Louisville, Kentucky. Let's give a big talk warm welcome to Auburn Golf's J.M. Butler. J.M., welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Well, J.M., it's been a crazy couple of weeks for you with the NCAA tournament, with the tour card. So I don't really know where to start. So we might as well just start with the NCAA tournament. You guys are coming in to that final qualifier as the 6 out of the 8 seed. The night before that, Jackson Coiven gets that shot on the green to send you guys to the national championship. What was going through your mind when he hit that shot against Ohio State to put you guys into the next one?
Oh my gosh. Well, he was in the playoff lasted 3 holes, and they tied the first 2, obviously, and they sent it into the third. But in the second playoff hole, he had driven it in the left rough. And hole 17 out there, it's a very difficult hole, tough driving hole. And he is in the left rough and hits a shot, and right out of the gate, we're all just like, oh no. Because this thing's coming out hot. He had about 190 yards hitting a 7-iron, and we thought he was going to just kind of chip one up there. No, he did not hold back on this shot, and he let it rip. And this thing is flying over the flagstick, over the green, and I just got to tell you what, Auburn family, thank God for TV towers, because if that TV tower wasn't behind the 17th green, we wouldn't be having this conversation today. But God willing, it hit the TV tower. The greatest break in maybe the history of college golf.
Gosh.
It's a TV tower. He gets up there, gets a drop, 2 putts it up. They tie the hole, and man, he's a hell of a player. And just he steps on 18T. Their third playoff hole. Absolutely hits a beautiful golf shot. We're all just shaking in their boots. I'm like, I haven't stressed that hard in my entire life. You know, I feel like it's a lot harder to watch someone than actually is like play, because when you're playing, you're kind of locked in. But yeah, he hit it a great second shot that went into the bunker up by the green. Hit a great bunker shot out to 4 feet, and Adam Wallen, the Ohio State guy he was playing, nearly missed his birdie putt, and Coiven had about 4 feet, and we were all just, it was so cool, just gathered with my teammates around the green, together in arms, and Coiven sunk that putt, and it was just awesome. It was magical to have him send us to the national championship that Tuesday against beating Ohio State.
I remember seeing the video that the Auburn Tigers golf profile posted on Instagram. It was all of you guys just like sort of awaiting the putt. And then when you saw it go in, you all just took off. That feeling was probably just so cool.
Yeah, man.
Those great feelings, they weren't done that day. You guys go into the national championship on that next day. And the difference between, I guess, that and the rounds of stroke play that you guys had was in match play. It's not just you against the course. It's you against the course and an opponent. And you guys were matched up against Florida State, and you drew Luke Clanton. I saw he was ranked number 8th in the world amateur golf rankings. You were ranked 38th. And I don't mean that to put you in that sort of light, but I mean, you were at odds, and you're coming in with that, but your team is playing hot. What gave you that confidence heading in as, I guess, statistically, numbers wise, technically the underdog? I know that your attitude isn't like that. And that's not how you think. You've never thought that.
Sure.
I know you, JM. But how did it feel sort of coming into that match, and where was your head at heading into the national championship match?
It was a long morning. We didn't tee off until 3:00 Pacific time. So for a boy who grew up in the Eastern time zone, it was very late. But just kind of calming yourself down and telling yourself how much you've prepared for that moment, and that you're good enough to go out there and get the job done. Because when you have all day to sit around and think, you can get in your own head and really psych yourself out. But we did a great job as a team, I think, beforehand, just going to breakfast in the morning, like it was any other day. The coaches didn't put any other pressure on us as players, and we didn't put any pressure on us together as a team. And just going into the match, we just felt like the better team. I mean, we had dominated the entire regular season. We dominated at SEC championships. We dominated at the regional championships, and the whole entire season we were just the best team. Unfortunately, at stroke play, we didn't play our best golf, but we knew at match play that we were undefeated, and it's really tough to beat five guys who are just so competitive and want to beat you so bad. And I don't think anyone on our team believed that they were going to lose a head-to-head matchup. It didn't matter if the amateur was ranked first or second or third or in the world. I'd take my guys against any of them. So we were very confident, and we had a lot of belief in each other. And win or lose, we knew that we were going to love each other at the end of the day anyway.
Funny you said that word undefeated, because the people on the broadcast, they kept saying that it was shocking that JM hadn't trailed in any of the 3 matches he played. It was remarkable. And that word undefeated not only went for your team, but it went for you too. Those first 3 games, you were on fire. So you had that fire lit up under you going into the final day. That had to be pretty cool. You didn't lose at all in the first 3 days.
Yeah, they were glazing for sure. They were glazing. But yeah, I played some phenomenal golf at the match play, and was lucky not to trail, and played some great players. But I had a lot of confidence going to the final match, and I knew if it did come down to my match, that my guys could count on me, and I wanted to get the job done for my teammates.
Going through the match, you and Clanton, at least on the front 9, were pretty head to head, and then you ended up getting the lead, I believe, on the par 312, right?
Yeah, I took a 1-up lead after 12.
And then from there was really no looking back, despite the challenges that the course brought, that your opponent brought. But I think the 15th hole is what really changed the match, wouldn't you say?
100%. Yeah.
Talk about sort of your approach on that one, and then what changed with Clanton's shot running down the green, the back of the green, and into the water. What was sort of going through your mind then?
Yeah, well, 15 was one of the most difficult holes out there, in my opinion. Didn't really have a good line off the tee. You're kind of just aiming at a bunker in the middle of the fairway, and there's weeds left and right. So if you don't hit a straight shot, you're going to be in the rough or the weeds even. And I hit mine. I hit a beautiful chip 3-wood down the middle of the fairway, and Luke made a mistake and hit it about a foot or 2 in the left rough. And he was first to place because I was closer to the green. And he tried to hit a miraculous shot straight up in the air from about 115 yards and get the stop on the green. And to be honest, I thought he did it. I thought he hit the perfect golf shot. And with just how firm the greens were, it was impossible to stop it where he was coming out of the rough. And it went over the back of the green, and I was able to hit my wedge shot on the green, and that was about it for that hole. And I went 2 up with 3 to go.
You go to that 16th par 3, and you saved par from that back bunker to stay 2 up. That shot, JM, that was a clutch one.
Yeah, 16, it was also a tough hole. It was like 167 yards that day, and the ball just seemed to be going a long way out there. And so I hit a just kind of a stock pitching wedge, which normally in Auburn is about a 145 shot, but I guess with the altitude and the temperature and the adrenaline, it flew a little too far and ended up in the back bunker. And yeah, I stepped in the bunker, and it was like the bunkers all week had a ton of sand, like too much sand almost. And my first step in the bunker, it felt like there was no sand, like it was straight rocks. And so I was like, oh boy, like I had no idea like what was under the ball or how the ball was going to come out. And so it took me a minute in there to get comfortable. And, there were a lot of thoughts going through my head, but I just kept reminding myself, I'm here for a reason and to just trust all the work I've put in. And hit an excellent shot out of there, and it looked like it was going to go in for a second. Just stopped an inch or two right of the hole.
I can't even imagine the amount of adrenaline, the amount of nerves. Maybe not for you. Maybe you were just confident as all get out, but walking from 16 to 17, because everyone else is finished playing by then. And we know what could happen on this 17th hole. You could either win the national championship or you play that last hole on 18. That nervousness, that anxiety, did you feel any of that walking to 17? Were you nervous? Did you know what you were going to do? Did you know what you were capable of there?
I wouldn't say I was nervous. I would say I was excited, but I was very calm at the same time. It was really a weird feeling, and looking back, like I had so much adrenaline that it kind of felt like I was walking on air. Like everything just gets lighter when you're in a situation like that. But I just try to stay in my routine and stay in my process, and like I do on every shot, I didn't try to treat it any differently or do anything fancy or rush myself or slow myself down. I just pretended like I was on the back of the range at the facility and just hitting a 3-wood, and stepped up there and hit a beautiful 3-wood down the right side, and which kept it short of the bunker. Because all week I think even everyone in the field was trying to hit driver and kind of get it up there, and have a wedge, and people were struggling with the hole because it's so tight with driver. But 3-wood, it made the fairway bigger and kept it short of that right bunker, which Luke ended up hitting in with driver. And after that, man, I was so confident that we had it, and I had a perfect number with a 9-iron from 176 yards, and just told myself that just commit to it and do what you were born to do. And hit that thing, and right when it left the face, I knew it was going to be good. And yeah, cozied up there like 8 feet past the hole, and Clanton,
Yeah,
he had a very.
talk about that heart attack
I'm going too
because
far. I'm going too far.
that 17. I mean, I would consider it a heart attack, and I wasn't even the one there. I was actually on the other side of the country, just watching on TV. But my heart was shaking when Clanton stepped on or drove. He drove into the bunker and had to chip, and it was FSU's last hope to
Yeah.
try to win this hole. And the shot did what it did. I'll play the clip, but walk me through from your seat where your mind was, what you saw, how you felt. Just walk me through the moment he goes to hit that shot.
Yeah. So I get up there. I marked my ball. I was like 8 feet past the hole, and he's over his chip, kind of like getting a feel for it. And he walks up to the green and takes the flag stick out. And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, he's got to make it, but taking the flag stick out, like, okay, like he must really be confident that he's going to make it. And I was kind of over there with both the coaches watching him chip. And Coach Kleiner was just telling me, expect him to make this, expect him to make this. He's going to make this. And I did. I expected him to make it, especially how confident he looked taking the flag stick out. But when he hit the shot, it came out very low and it flew a couple feet on the green, and it looked like it had some heat to it. And when it hit the hole, man, I didn't think it was going to go in really for a second, but if had the flag stick been in, it could have been a different story. And so, it was scary. I watched it on TV the other night with my parents. I was like, oh, maybe it was a little closer than I thought, but it was an unbelievable shot. And had he hit it with a little softer pace, it definitely would have gone in. And with the flag stick, who knows? But you know, yeah, it was unfortunate ending for him because I would have loved to tie with birdie and call it that. But you know, golf's funny sometimes, and sometimes you get the breaks and sometimes you don't, and it was just our time and we got the breaks.
The golf gods were definitely working
Yeah,
there.
yeah, for sure.
And then obviously in the end, they ended up working on your side. You just had to put that ball close, and the tournament was yours. You
Yeah,
putt it.
I
You
wanted to make
concede.
that so bad. I wanted to make that so bad, and my coach could tell. And I was so calm and I was so confident. Like I hadn't really like felt like any nerves or any sort of anxiety. And he comes up to me like right before I'm about to hit the putt, and he's like, "Tam, like just two. We just need two putts. Just get it down there. Just tap it in. Just tap it in, like the Happy Gilmore." just tap it in. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh snap, this is to win the national championship. I gotta tap this thing down there. And I was over the ball and I almost froze. And I don't even know how I took the putter back, but I took it back about an inch and barely tapped the thing, and it got all the way to the hole and stopped about 2 or 3 inches right of the cup. And when he told me to pick it up and shook his hand, the emotions were just amazing.
And we heard the let's go, and then all of a sudden your face is in the green. That feeling had to be crazy.
Oh man, a feeling that it's like a once in a lifetime feeling. It's just to see all your best friends in the world running towards you after winning a national championship, something that you've been chasing since you started playing golf as a little kid. Um, was just such a cool feeling, and every time I think about it, I just start smiling.
4 years ago, you were a senior in high school, state champion at Trinity High School, where we both went. We went to high school together, for those who don't know. And you told the Auburn coach that you wanted to win a national championship. Accomplishing that goal just 4 years later, how crazy is that to wrap your mind around?
You know what? It's pretty crazy, but to be honest, I always believed that I was going to be a national champion, and I know if I put in the work and did all the right things, that it would just work out for me. And I feel like that's how it's worked in my entire life, and it was crazy, but it wasn't unexpected, I should say. But just having those guys on the team who had the same vision and the same belief, uh, it was awesome, but not unexpected.
And that's another thing I want to talk about is the background on this bad boy that you've had for a little bit now. I know
Yeah,
I just want to hear the backstory about this. So you had a picture of you holding I guess what, a cutout image of the national championship trophy?
yeah. So when we won the SEC fall preview, which is basically the SEC tournament, but just in the fall season, I held up the trophy above my head, and a picture was taken of like Koypin on my left side and Reed on my right side, both looking up at it too. And I'm just like hoisting the thing above my trophy or above my head. And um, over winter break, I took that same picture and I cut out the SEC match play trophy and pasted in the national championship trophy. And I told myself I'm gonna see this every day, and it's gonna remind me of what I'm chasing. And I believe in the law of attraction, and the more you think about something, the more that the higher percentage is gonna come true. And I believe that was just the case for this. And looking at my phone every day, seeing myself hoist up the national championship trophy, it couldn't hurt me. And so if anything it could do was to help. And yeah, it was a pretty cool thing to look back on and be able to change my wallpaper from the edited version to the real version.
I bet that user wallpaper change click was the best click you had all day. And that
Yeah.
manifestation was real. And I know it's something that you look forward to since we were in high school,
Yes.
and to now finally achieve that dream. I can imagine the feelings that you, your family, your teammates, that everybody had, and it being the first national championship in the history of Auburn golf. That is a crazy thing. A first for anything is crazy, but for a championship for a university that's been around as long as Auburn has, that's a feat in and of itself. Talk about how Auburn golf has changed in your 4 years and how you see this first national championship growing in the next couple of years for this team.
It's amazing. And that this is a tribute to the guy, even the guys who came before me, is just the culture that we've built at this program. Um, we truly believe that this team is good enough to win national championships and SEC championships every year. And that's really a testament to Coach Nick Kleinert. And he's built that from day one, ever since he came in as the head coach. But that the team we had this year is pretty special. I think it'll be tough to match what we did this year, but they got some really good players coming in, and I think this is just the beginning of a dynasty for Auburn golf. and it wouldn't surprise me if they win it again next year.
The pace that they're on right now with Koiven and the awards that he's won this year, just the success that he had is just a underclassman, was remarkable, put together with you and Baca and Valdez together. It was a lethal combination, and we could all see that as you guys were winning by 30 some odd strokes in different tournaments. We knew, probably not as much as you knew, as confident as an individual as we know you are. But one thing that you said, the Auburn program, it was just the beginning. And for you guys, it was just the beginning of the celebration. And taking that back to Toomer's Corner, I know you were on the other coast, you're on the West Coast. But that same night you guys won the tournament, they rolled Toomer's Corner and it was mobbed. And that was the first celebration. I don't know if you got to see any of that stuff, but how cool was that to see the Auburn faithful on the other side of the United States still celebrating?
I couldn't believe it. We had a couple guys in Auburn still, and they were like, "Wait, what?" Like people are rolling tumors, and they rushed over there right away. They FaceTime us when we were still like out on the golf course, and wow. I mean, what a university, what a city. There truly is no place in the world like Auburn, and I'm so lucky to have gone to school at a great university, and proud to call Auburn my home for future years as well.
Yeah, and the celebration you guys had in downtown was unlike anything I'd seen.
Yeah.
I try to tell people what Tumors is like that haven't been to Auburn or haven't seen it, and it's impossible. But I think the Auburn, when you guys had your, I guess call it parade in downtown Auburn, that was something I really couldn't describe because it was packed. There was the stage, the confetti, there was all these added pieces that added to the greatness of Tumors Corner. Just give me the overview about that day, the parade day. You guys come in with the trophy. A bunch of people talk up there, but the whole community of Auburn is there. How cool is it to be back and to see Tumors Corner rolled for something that you guys did?
Yeah, it almost didn't feel real. It felt like a dream. Especially as a senior, kind of wrapping up your college career that way, and just I couldn't believe the amount of people there. I mean, we're walking up and they got like three cop cars shutting down the intersection between College Street and Magnolia, and I'm just like, wait, what is happening right now? This is wild. Um, but no, it was a night that I'll remember for the rest of my life, and just truly grateful for all the Auburn fans and support that we received. Not just that night, but even right now, like I'm still flooded with text messages from Auburn grads and Auburn students just I haven't even met that's still congratulating me. So it's amazing, and wow, what a celebration it was at Toomer's Corner for sure.
The community is something that I don't know will ever leave you, especially as you move on to your next steps in your career and life. But in the last week, you've received a pretty big boost in what is your future in golf, with the PGA Tour of Americas card. Talk to me about what that is and what that means for the next steps in your career.
Yeah, so PGA Tour Americas, they've combined the McKenzie and the Latin American tour the PGA Tour has, and so now it's just one tour. But basically they have tournaments in Canada and Latin America, which play for good money, and it's a good start. You can actually earn your Corn Ferry and PGA Tour card through that system. So I'm hoping to go up north and play well and try to do that, and um, go from there. Um, but yeah, basically, I'll be in Canada all summer or for the next 12 weeks, just traveling around there and trying to rip some trophies off the shelves.
If you've got any space left on your shelves at home, do you?
Yeah, my dad's club championship trophies take up most of the space though.
Right. Got it from dad, right, JM? Got it from dad.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I guess now is the perfect segue to head into what we like to call everyone's favorite segment, the mailbox questions. For my guy Dylan, obviously he couldn't be with us today. Had stuff come in, but that didn't stop him from wanting to get in on the conversation. So he sent me a couple of questions. So Dylan's first question, I guess it wasn't really a question, but he said, "You better put him on the spot about that party bus they had downtown." Party bus? Talk to me about the party bus.
Um, How do I keep it PG? Well, Auburn. I think a bunch of Auburn students who got obviously know about the like party bus that kind of hangs out in front of Sky Bar, and we rented that out for a few hours and had a good time and did some dancing and some singing and maybe some other stuff. But yeah, it was awesome. The party bus was cool, but I don't want to get too much into that because there's guys still on the team that I gotta look out for.
Good call. Dancing and singing. What was the theme song of the night after you guys won? What song did you play the most? That was Dylan's second question.
Oh, I wouldn't say there's one song. We Are the Champions, obviously. Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. But I would say the best moment was Toby Keith, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. That had the whole party bus going. I mean, we were singing our hearts out to Toby Keith, and man, that was so much fun, man.
Last Dylan Cardwell mailbox question was, what was the craziest text someone sent you after winning, or the most famous person that said congrats?
Uh, I don't know about craziest text. I might get in trouble for that too. But most famous person. I'm trying to think. I would say Jason Duffner is pretty famous, so probably him. Yeah, probably Jason or John Cohen.
True. Can't go wrong
Yeah,
with either of those Auburn greats, can you? And then I guess one mailbox question I had for you was, Scottie Scheffler, is he innocent?
innocent, 100% innocent.
Where were you when PGA Tour was in Louisville? Were you able to catch it at all or no?
No, I was still in Auburn, and I woke up and I saw that he got arrested. I was like, "What the heck, man? Like, this has got to be a joke." And sure enough, it was a joke. But
Yeah,
it was
technically, I guess it was.
it
Yeah.
was a joke, but it wasn't. He still got arrested.
Yeah.
What a crazy like run of events. I mean, I I just hope Louisville gets another major because I want to play in it eventually one day.
Right. Yeah.
But
You wanted to come
yeah,
back. You and Justin Thomas.
yeah, it's not looking good after that.
6:30, my phone's going ding, 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 ding. And they're all saying, look at your
Yeah,
TV, look
that's
at your
right. You were
TV,
there.
look at
You
your
were
TV.
here.
I was like, oh crap. Okay, I'll look at my TV. And then I was like really, really confused looking at my TV. It's like, holy wow. Almost like
Yeah,
Christian, normal, like angel of a man is getting arrested on TV right now. What's going on? So then we texted, we were going to get there a little earlier. And the media entrance, obviously, is the same one that he took. So I was a little nervous going into that entrance after seeing what I saw on TV.
yeah.
We get in there, and that's when we hear like 10 minutes ago, I saw somebody tweeted, Scottie's supposed to be at Valhalla in 15 minutes. So they're, of course, like, all right, Vince, go run. Like, you have to go get the shot of him coming out of the clubhouse. So I'm sprinting over there. And I didn't get him walking in because nobody really did. It was like a CIA
Right.
operation going on there. So I went around the other side and waited till he came out to the practice screen. And JM, I kid you not, it was like I was shooting OJ Simpson, is what I felt like. It was dead quiet. Like no one was saying a word. Some innocent kid just went, it's Scottie. And I was like, yeah, kid. Oh my gosh, you're making me more nervous. But here he comes. He's coming. It was like, it wasn't real. But to
Yeah.
him, he was the exact same. Like he walked off and the kid was like probably an innocent kid that wasn't in the know of what's going on. He was like, Scottie, can I get your autograph? And this was, keep in mind, 30 minutes after he got out of a prison cell. He walks up to the kid and he's like, if you stand here, like right when I'm done with my round, I promise I'll come and sign something for you. Is that cool? The kid
Wow.
was like, yeah. And he like gave him knucks and just walked off. And then I went and watched him on 10 when he teed off. And it was the loudest the crowd got the entire weekend. It was just someone,
Wow.
Scottie, Scottie, come on, Scottie. But it was the most interesting day, not only from a media perspective, but just from a sport perspective, in terms of like the question I kept asking myself was just what's going on? Like what is actually happening here? And then his press conference was just he handled it from my seat amazing. He starts by
Yeah.
saying, obviously, I can't really talk about what happened this morning. 5 minutes later, he's like, yeah, I walked in and they asked me, do you want the full experience? And I said, I don't know how to answer that. And the guy was like, what, do you want a sandwich? I was like, I mean, yeah, I haven't had breakfast. I'll take a sandwich. And like he's watching himself get arrested on TV, figuring out his tea times based off what ESPN is saying about his tea times while he sits and stretches in a prison cell. It was the most bizarre information to gather ever.
I can't imagine from your perspective too.
It was just so funky. But that whole tournament to be in Louisville,
Yeah.
obviously it was really cool for the hometown. We saw a ton of kids we probably know, mutual people. But it was packed, and to see Shoffley come out on top was really cool because he just played great all week
100%.
long.
But Scottie, I mean, I have so much respect for him after the way he handled that. I mean, what a class act guy. I mean, really, just so cool. But
Yeah.
he's like the one guy I would not expect that to happen to. So, the
Yeah,
world's
the
crazy.
best part was seeing like the DraftKings thing that was like on Friday, how many people actually threw money on Scottie to like win the whole thing. I think the number was like 50, or it was more than 50. It was like 70 something percent of bettors bet money on Scottie on Friday. Like a crazy number. We're like, okay, we're throwing the mortgage on Scottie. He's like turned up now. But I mean, the fact that he shot 5 under on that day is just unreal. Can you even like, I can't even fathom that.
No, absolutely not. My mind would be in shambles. I don't know if I could even go out there after that.
Yeah, no way.
So,
And also, another crazy thing about that weekend was how fast that people came with free Scotty t-shirts. I think it was like
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
like
that's what I
when
heard.
he teed off at like what 10:10. I think at like probably by 10:25, I had seen 2 orange jumpsuits and a free Scotty like printed t-shirt. And then within 30 minutes after that, I saw the mugshot on the
No.
t-shirt, and I was like, "You are good. Whoever you are, whoever printed that shirt out is awesome, and thank you." His head, I can't even imagine. I would have exploded.
Me and
I
you
just
both.
would have exploded. Yeah, me and you would have been in the same boat there. What in the world? I think that's all I've got. You got anything for the Big Talk community? Anything for Auburn golf that you want to tell us?
Guys, there's more coming from Auburn Golf, and my man Vince here is one intelligent and good-looking fellow. So you ladies treat him nice.
I try my
You
best to
got
look
a
just
wait,
like you
Vince.
guys.
You got a girlfriend?
Yeah, I do. Yes,
Oh, okay. My bad, ladies. My bad.
it's okay. I can
And
be
tell
I
you,
can be
tell
good
you,
looking for my boys down in Auburn. That's what we do. We look good as a collective.
tell your girl I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get your clout up.
She agrees, I hope. All right. Well, that was all for this episode of Big Talk. You can find full episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts with clips on YouTube Reels, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Make sure you follow us there. Make sure you follow JM as he embarks on a brand new journey in professional golf. JM, we cannot wait to see all the success that you achieve over the next however long your long career will go. But know the Auburn faithful's behind you, know Louisville's behind you, and we can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah, thanks, Vince. You too, brother. I'm proud of you. You've done some great things, and I know you're going to continue to do great things in the media world. So keep at it. Thanks for having
Appreciate
me.
that. Appreciate that, dude. Hey, Trinity Shamrocks. It's in the green Shamrock bloodline, I
Yes,
guess.
sir. Go Rocks, baby. Go
You
Rocks.
get it. Go Rocks. Come on now. All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Big Talk. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we will see you next time. For Vince, for JM, peace.
Peace.